Wow, you're right. You have no sound. I was saying hi, Kai. If it's Kai or Key, let me know. But I guess I just talked for 2 minutes. Honestly, this is on par for the live tonight, you guys. I am so excited to be here and to chill and to hang and to talk out because to chill, to hang, to talk out, to chill out and hang and talk. Because this is actually the seventh show together. Slay, we love it. And I think we're long overdue for something calm, chill. So grab your blanket, your emotional support water bottle, make sure it's filled up. But when you couldn't hear me, I was apologizing for being late, but I guess I was also being mute. So, anyways, Key. Okay, hey Key, I'm so glad you're here. Stay active in the chat. I love talking to you guys. But I was saying that you might hear weird squeaky sounds, or like Zoe has a toy filled with crinkly paper that she's playing with right now, and I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it, and I'm going to try my best to just ignore it. She's also the reason that I was late onto the live. She was demanding to go outside, so I had to do that for her, obviously. But I'm so happy you guys are here. Like I said, chill, calm, relaxing. Hi, Iris. Night together that we're going to chat about. Sorry, she's coughing now. There's going to be probably a lot of Zoe just being Zoe tonight. I can sense it. She's been calm all day, which means she's ready to go. But I want to talk about some exciting things. Before I get into it, I need to paint the picture for you for where I'm at right now, because I think it's kind of important to the life. I have to tell you about my yesterday because it was just not the best day. And typically I'm a person who likes to share very like upbeat, positive, yay, like life is happy content, and I think that's important, and that's honestly what I like to create the most. But this is a little bit more real, a little bit more vulnerable. I shouldn't say real. It's all real, but a little bit more personal, I guess. So, yesterday, not the greatest day for me. I'll just run you through it. I woke up and I was filled with so much anxiety, and this does kind of happen to me in the mornings. I feel like I'm a little bit more prone to being overwhelmed. I call it my sunrise scaries because I feel like if it has a cute name, it's a little bit easier to deal with. So I had some sunrise scaries yesterday, and they were like pretty bad. None of my regular routine was really helping me. Like, it wasn't really calming me down. I tried getting my coffee, reading my book, whatever. Nothing was working, and I had important things to do that day. So, long story short, about halfway through the day, I did start feeling a little bit better, but I just wasn't my full self yesterday. But I had to shoot content for a brand yesterday on a boat. And on a sailboat specifically. And if you know, let me just hold on. I had to paint this picture really well. I was very excited for this sailboat because I will do anything for an aesthetic moment. I like to produce things like that. I think that's really fun. And I really was excited about the brand and what I was shooting. And so I was really happy to get on this boat. So I had driven like an hour and a half to the beach or to the marina, technically. Got on the sailboat. It was so cute. I was really excited. We were pulling out of the little bay. We hit the open water. And when we hit the open water, the boat started boating, right? And it just like over waves. And in that moment, I remembered that I am extremely prone to seasickness. If you have watched any of my like Disney cruise content anywhere, it's at TikTok, Instagram, you know that I get seasickness. And there's only been one of the few Disney cruises that I've been on that I haven't gotten sick, and it was because I took like motion sickness medicine days and days before getting on the boat. I don't know how this very important piece of information slipped my mind, but it really wasn't until we hit the open water, hit that first wave, that it was like all went quiet in my body. And I could only remember that I got seasickness. I looked at Austin, who was there with me, and I was like, yeah, I totally forgot about seasickness. And he was not catching my vibe. I was trying to tell him that I was in that moment getting seasick without like making it a big deal with the captain or anything. Went right over his head. He was like, yeah, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, I was not good. I was not good. If you have like a weak stomach, maybe just plug your ears for 30 seconds. I'm going to get a little graphic. But not only do I get nauseous and seasick and just motion sick, I am also a puker. It's just, it is who I am. And so I got sick on this boat 4 or 5 times. Luckily, it had a cabin underneath. I promise this story is going to make sense later. But it had like a cabin underneath the sailboat. Thankfully, with a bathroom, because I cannot imagine doing that over the side of a sailboat. And it was a very beautiful sailboat. Like, it had been used in productions before, and so it was a very picturesque sailboat, and it was the perfect time of day, and it was the perfect weather. It wasn't too hot, but I was out of it. This was on top of my already, like, super anxious morning. And then, of course, like, I'm here for pictures and content and things like that. Now I'm getting even more anxious. Anxiety is creeping back in because now I'm too sick to like stand straight. There is no standing straight on a sailboat, guys, either. It is just waves. That's all it is. Hi, Zoe. It's okay. She wants me to play with her little squeaky toy. But anyways, finally, whatever, I'm horribly sick by the end of this trip. I like cannot wait to get back on land. Once I'm on land, I'm throwing up again. I just can't wait to get home at this point. And once I got home, I went to bed. That was my yesterday. So it was not the greatest day, and it kind of, I feel like the thing with my anxiety and with a lot of people's anxiety that I've heard, and let me know if you're like this or not, but it's never really like a one-day thing. It kind of bleeds into another. So this morning, I woke up a little bit better, but I was still like, I was just exhausted. My body was literally sick yesterday. I wasn't in the greatest mental space yesterday, and a little bit therefore today, just because you don't get to choose when you start feeling better all the time. But the reason why I'm telling you all this is so you can understand like where I'm at in this moment and where I'm coming from, because this live, I think, is actually the perfect day to do it, because I want to talk about like self-love manifestation specifically, and even more specifically talking about like dreams and goals and how to get there. And it's days like this where I'm like, I'm the most like tested by it. Like it's the days where you don't feel great that you like have to remember all these things. So hopefully like hyping you up, talking about things that you're excited about will make me feel even more excited and a little bit happier. Oh, thank you guys for feeling my pain. But I am physically better and a little bit more mentally better right now. But I think this live will make that even greater. That's how my day went. If you had a good day, please tell me about it. I want to hear about your good day to forget about my bad day, honestly. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's just talk. This is, like I said, gonna be so chill, relaxing, water bottles and blankies on deck. I'm gonna actually put my blankie in my lap because then we'll feel cozy together. But yeah, I just kind of want to chat about these things because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if I feel these things, I can't be the only one, and hopefully it can help you and in some sort of way. So the first thing that I want to talk about is let me go back to how I told you that I woke up with sunrise scaries, prone to overwhelm in the morning, which, by the way, I do have a sunrise scary support group on Instagram now. It's my little broadcast channel, and I just kind of drop in some like positive notes here and there if you need that. But part of the way that I combat sunrise scaries is by like really leaning into my morning routine. Aw, thanks, Iris. Oh my gosh. Getting motion I cannot read right now. Getting motion sickness recently is so annoying. Does it bother you when you get on Disney rides as well? Not really, but it does bother me on some of the Universal rides with the screens. Like anything with the 3D glasses now kind of gets to me, and this is new. Like I feel like it's kind of getting worse as I'm getting older, which stinks, but you know, we live. It does get bad in the car sometimes. Like, if you're, like, lurching to a stop, my body is like, it doesn't love that. But back to my sunrise scaries, part of the way that I combat that is by really leaning into my morning routine, and it's like waking up on autopilot, like I don't even have to think. So if I'm overwhelmed, I already kind of know the motions, my body kind of knows the motions, and part of that morning routine is prepare yourself if you're like triggered by manifestation. I get it, but journaling, I journal every morning, and I feel like journaling is that thing that comes up when you search like how to manifest. It's like number 1, journal every morning to a prompt. And I was that girl, I fell for her, and I've been journaling for years now. Yeah, you are definitely not alone in the car sickness. It's not great. I wonder if it goes into our anxiety. Probably. I bet anxiety probably triggers some sickness and vice versa. Just when your body's already not feeling good and your mind's not feeling great, I feel like anything can kind of tip you into not so great of a state. But I journal every morning, and I like that I have all of them now, because the greatest thing about this to me is the fact that like the thoughts come out of your head and get put on paper, and then you can kind of forget about them. Like once they're done, or just acknowledging them and giving them space like almost makes you feel better. But aside from just the sunrise scaries, journaling was definitely the thing that got me into manifesting and like making your dreams come true. Like, ding, it sounds so magical. And I really got into it. So let me just read a quick manifesting definition, or definition of manifestation, in case anyone doesn't know, but this is from Cambridge Dictionary. I feel so academic when I note my sources. But manifesting is to make something happen by imagining it and consciously thinking that it will happen. And that is the basis for any like how to manifest video out there. They're literally like, you think it, you believe it, you achieve it. Sounds like something that would be in like a kindergarten classroom. And it's true. And journaling is one of my favorite ways to get there. Like I said, these are old. Like I've been journaling for years and years, and it's kind of cool to look back at now because I have entries from when I was manifesting, like my Disney internship. If you don't know, I was a Disney intern, and when I was in college and I found out you could be a Disney intern, I thought that was the coolest thing ever, and that was the only thing I wanted to do. So I like went hard into manifesting. I was like, I need this job. And it's cool to see like my thoughts and stuff behind that. I have a journal from quarantine, which I like try not to read often because, as you can imagine, it was pretty scary. The world had never experienced something like that. So it was just all of those thoughts written down. I actually have, this is my current one. I started putting cute little like motivational stickers on them too. They're all from Etsy. This is my one from, I think it was the one before this. So I have like all these cute, just happy little reminders. It must be this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, okay, I bookmarked it. Where this is gonna be so like random. This may seem random and like woo-woo, but I was going through like a self-love, like deep work at this time. And I got my first tarot card reading, which I hadn't even planned. I was just at a place where there was a tarot card reader, and I was like, this is perfect. The universe is telling me that I need to do this. And I have in this journal a quote from my tarot card reader who literally said, quote, "I don't know what you're doing, but if it's writing in journals, then I suggest you keep writing, fill them up, and put them away. Because you're young, you'll want to keep everything that's happening now because you'll use it later." That's literally in my journal, like that she told me about. And so from that point on, I was like, tarot card reading is so real. Like, whether or not you believe it, I'm here for it. And I've only done that one reading, but I do feel like I'm kind of due for another one. But it's gotta feel right, you know? That one was so spontaneous, and I felt so, like, literally read. My tarot card reader literally read me. Oh, I'm so glad you're here for this live, Iris. I am so happy you're here, because now we can chat about all this together. But, yeah, I think I'm kind of due for another tarot card reading, which would be fun. But yeah, I just wanted to start out by talking about journaling, and that's kind of how I got into manifestation. Like, in these journals is everything from I want to be a Disney intern to I want to be a Disney creator, which I did, which is so fun and exciting. And dreams that I have now are in them, and we can talk about them in a little bit. But first, let's play a little game. I kind of liked our Melissa's Classics segment from last live. If you watched it, I kind of gave you a list of pop culture things that I consider classic in my mind, inspired by Miss Quinta Brunson. But today, we are going to play Agree or Disagree, which is less of a game and more of just a chat about popular like manifestation tools. Basically the things that will come up in videos or on TikTok or on Instagram when you type in like hashtag manifest, hashtag like self-love, how do I reach this goal? I feel like these things constantly come up and I just want to give you my opinion on them pretty much. And you please feel free to give your opinion in the chat. I feel like this would be so fun to discuss, especially if something like did work for you really well or didn't work for you really well. So let's get into it. The first one is, we'll keep it short and simple, journaling. I feel like I kind of gave my opinion on this. I'm here for it. But you know what's always popping up when you type in journaling? This 5-minute journal. And, oh yeah, Key, you asked, are those blank journals or do they come with prompts? My therapist, I promise I can read. My therapist keeps suggesting I do it, but I haven't caught on just yet. This is the perfect time to talk about this. So all of my journals I buy blank, like they're just regular notebooks. Most of them are Moleskine notebooks. Love them. They hold up really, really well. Because I couldn't get into things like the 5-minute journal with prompts. Like, to me, the prompts were never really asking me what I was dealing with. And I get it. It's nice for people who, if you've never journaled or you've never written, like, or you don't write or things like that. I've been writing for a really long time, so I think that's why prompts didn't work for me. But it gives you a good thought starter if you don't know where to even begin. Like, a lot of them are like, how do you feel today? Which is great. Or like, name something you're grateful for. Or what are you dreaming about right now? And I think that's really great if you don't know where to start. But also, at the same time, if you constantly deal with anxiety, like I feel like a lot of your triggers are similar. And so you kind of know where you're at. And all this to say, I find it easier to just script write, which is just writing whatever comes to mind. So in the morning, I literally open my journal. I write the date and the time because I think that's fun to look back on. And I'm actually really glad I started doing that because I can kind of place myself back in the moment if I ever reread the entry. And then from there, I write whatever comes to mind. Like, it could sound like, I feel sad today. Or it could sound like, yesterday was the best day ever, and today's going to be even greater. And I think kind of doing that and not setting an expectation for what your journal entries are going to look like, or don't even expect to reread them, pretend you're going to, like, burn them after. And maybe you do burn them after. But I think that that's kind of how I got into journaling, and that really helped me because the prompts were not it for me. The prompts and the gratitude journals, like, I still have a hard time with those. Like, they just never really hit the way that I feel like a journal should. So my favorite suggestion is to just write your thoughts, like a literal diary. Remember when we all thought having a diary was so cool in, like, the 2000s? It is cool, and it needs to be brought back. Especially, like, tactical paper needs to be brought back because I feel like it's so easy when you're on your phone. And maybe it's not writing. Maybe you can do like a voice note to yourself and that's how you journal. And all that is so valid and it's kind of the same. It's basically just getting your thoughts out for the day. Good, bad, however you're feeling. And one thing that I have on this slide that it reminded me that I wanted to tell you about was using colorful pens. I use colorful pens in my journals, and it's just a little extra way to make journaling fun and feel personal. And I, of course, am a little bit extra about it, and I kind of choose the color that I'm feeling that day. Like, am I feeling blue today? I'll write in my blue pen. Am I feeling pink today? I'll write in my pink pen. And it's just, the more you involve yourself and your feelings into the journaling, I feel like the better it helps and does what it's actually supposed to do. So enough about journaling because I think we talked about it for like 10 minutes. Moving on to the next popular manifestation tool, self-help books. And I feel like there is an endless list of these online, like books that changed my life. And spoiler, I am going to give you some books that inspired me at the end of this live. But this is definitely another one of those things that comes up whenever you're on like a self-love or a manifestation kind of journey. They're like, read this, it changed my life. And 5 minute journal, no, but I use journal templates on my iPad. Physical journaling doesn't work for me. I don't care if that makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean, everyone is different. I love a pen and paper, and I'm very, like, I'm a crafty girl, so I like to have things, like, in my hand, and I think it kind of opens up that, like, pathway in my mind to just get all my feelings out. But if the iPad works for you, girl, go off. I bet your handwriting probably looks so much better on the iPad anyways. Sometimes if I look through these entries, I cannot read what I wrote. But self-help books, like I said, there are lists and lists and lists of them. I'm going to be giving you some of my suggestions. And the thing is, I know this is agree or disagree. I probably agree with most. Zoe, she's begging for me to play with her toys. I probably agree with most of these things, but, you know, this is just to inspire you, and hopefully you find something that works for you. But I do have to point out one of these books, and that is Atomic Habits. This book, the way this book was all over the internet, I cannot. I started reading it, and it just wasn't my favorite type of nonfiction books, which a lot of the books that are on these types of lists are nonfiction books, and some of them are more subject based. I feel like Atomic Habits is subject based because it's about creating habits to like make your life better. I personally lean more towards the nonfiction books that are more like biographies, like Becoming by Michelle Obama, or Untamed, I'm pretty sure, is a biography. I haven't read that, but I suggest if you're going to start reading them or you're afraid of reading them, like I said, I'll give you suggestions, but you'll probably have to read a couple before you even decide what kinds of books work for you or what actually like you enjoy reading, because you're not going to get the lessons if you don't enjoy the reading. I get to work 30 minutes before, and that's just my time to express everything and tell myself I'm going to have a great day, or if something comes up, it's okay, just a reminder to breathe. Yeah, that is so, I love that you make time for yourself every morning. Like, the fact that you get to work 30 minutes before just to give yourself that time, that is so good, because so many people literally will just live their life rushing. And I get being busy, absolutely, but like, even if you have 2 or 3 minutes to like be quiet with yourself, sorry, Zoe's being a menace, that is so awesome. I'm so happy for you. Okay, next thing on the popular manifestation tools, agree or disagree. Crystals! I do agree with these. I don't know a ton. Like, I wouldn't consider myself a crystal girl, but I am friends with lots of crystal girlies. And one of my friends even, I think it was, I can't remember what the gift was for, but she gifted me a ton of crystals. Let me just grab them, actually. I keep them in my Dreamspace windowsill for like charging. I don't know if you're supposed to charge them all the time or not, but these are my crystals from my friend, and she wrote out on a piece of paper what all of them are called and what they're specifically what they're specifically for. So I am here for crystals. Anything that makes you feel better for whatever reason, even if, let's just play devil's avocado for a second, even if it's all a placebo, like, did it make you feel better? Yes? Okay. Like, I think we're fine. It's not harming anyone else. Zoe with her toy. That she stole this from her cat family members. Lauren, if you're in the chat, Lauren is the mother of the kitties that Zoe stole this from. It's a cat toy, and it makes so much noise, and she's obsessed with it. But yes, here for crystals, here for learning about crystals. Anything that just makes you feel better, I think is okay. Oh, here we go. Vision boards. I love this one because this was also another thing. I think this is another thing that gets people really into manifestation. And these types of videos pop up every January, every near the end of the year, when people are like, I'm going to make a vision board for my 2024 goals. And I'm here for that. But I think what's worked for me in the past better is doing like a mini vision board every like month or a couple of months or stuff like that, because sometimes I found myself being overwhelmed by vision boards when I made them, because sometimes my dreams change or my opinions change or things just didn't work out, or I like no longer cared about this thing that was on my vision board. So kind of doing them for just sections of time at a little sections of time in the year instead of like the whole year definitely works better for me. But I feel like vision boards are a slay. They are so fun to make. If you want to make them with your friends too, that is such a fun party. Like, let's just all sit around and like scrapbook something. You did your first physical one this year. Oh, I love that. Are they normally digital? I know that's really popular and probably a lot easier because you don't have to deal with like magazines or printing or stuff like that. My first vision board was physical, and I just used a little cork board, and I got little cute push pens. I have to remind you guys, my brain is just fried from a sailboat yesterday. But yeah, I did little push pins and wrote little quotes and took pictures from Pinterest and put them up. And I made vision boards probably yearly for 3 or 4 years. A lot during college, a lot during like my early post-grad, and it's only recently that I've like kind of stepped back from vision boarding. I still do it on Pinterest, but I don't really make like the physical thing anymore. But I definitely think they're so helpful because it also depends on where you put them. And if you put them in a place that you see every day and you're constantly reminded of like the goals you have, it definitely does what it says it's going to do, because if you're constantly looking at like a photo of money because you want money, like money is going to be on your mind, and I feel like you're going to be so much more open to money flowing into your life. But a good tip that I did, I can't remember where I heard this, but somebody said you should make a vision board for things that you don't like but that you want to do. So for example, I hate cooking. I know that's a strong word. I just really don't enjoy it. Like, I have to do it because I'm a human being and I have to eat and make things, but I don't really enjoy cooking. I like baking. I don't love cooking, especially for other people. It makes me really, 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 really nervous. So, and I have started this. I started a Pinterest board of like aesthetic cooking photos and aesthetic recipes and things that look yummy and cute, like pots and pans and colorful knives and things like that. Things that like make me feel excited about cooking, because now I've got a visual for what cooking can look like. And it doesn't have to be something that I just dread every time that I have to do it. And I feel like that is a great way to use vision boards. I'm horrible at vision boards. You can't be horrible at vision boards. You just got to put up things that you like. Next, agree to disagree. Affirmations. This one can get really awkward, especially if you're not used to like talking to yourself. I was pretty much the only child in my house, so I got really used to talking to myself very early. But I love affirmations. I put a picture of these little words projects bracelets up here because I wear them every day. I wear 2 together that say one of a kind dreamer. And I feel like the whole like point behind this company is exactly what affirmations are for. And it's basically just carrying the thought with you and like kind of lying to yourself and convincing yourself that whatever the affirmation is true until you believe it. And then you just start to believe it and it becomes a part of like the way that you talk to yourself. So one of the, oh, thank you. Hi. I'm so glad you're here on live. But one of the affirmations that I have been like using a little bit more recently is like, I can do hard things. And like I say this to myself most of the time in a fitness class because I've been doing Pilates and ow, like it's the hardest workout I've ever done. But like in those moments in Pilates where I'm struggling, I literally will tell myself like I can do hard things. And then I'll like, maybe I won't fully do the full like 10 counts, but maybe I'll do 5 counts, right? And that's good enough. And that I've done the hard thing. I started it. And so now when I'm out of Pilates and something comes up that's hard or difficult or I'm scared to do, I can remind myself, oh, I can do hard things. I did this in Pilates. And it just helps you feel so much more confident. And all these tools like I used when I was learning to gain a lot more confidence, when I was learning to just like step into my own person and manifest the life that I have now and things like that. So that is why I really wanted to sit here and chat with you guys about it. I'm going to try it out. I'm on a new journey in my life and really could use the motivation. Oh, yay. I think this is the perfect episode for you then. What a fun time. Okay. That is the last of Agree to Disagree. And now I'm going to be honest with you. I had this idea to kind of talk about like dreams that I had and share some of your dreams while I made like a mini vision board bookmark for my journal that was going to be like the craft of the episode. Because if you watch these lives, you kind of know that I craft a lot during them. But given yesterday and this morning, I don't think my brain can handle a craft. So what I am going to do is we're going to do like hype hour. And I'm going to read some of your dreams that you sent me. And I'm just going to hype you up. And we can talk about them. And I'll share some of my dreams for a little bit. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I keep all of my shoes. Not all of them. But I do keep a lot of shoes behind me for aesthetics. Because I'm the kind of person that needs to see something. Or I forget that it exists. But on my Instagram, if you follow me there, you would have seen this morning. I posted a little like question sticker and I said, what are some dreams you have right now? And we're just going to read some of those and try to ignore Zoe. Oh my gosh. You guys. Okay. I have this blanket. My blanket, right? It has tassels on it. And Zoe has torn up one of these tassels and they're all over the floor. So BRB, we're going to get to the dreams in just a second. We're back. And Zoe is hopefully not going to eat any more of my blanket. But let's get to the dreams. I'm calling this segment Dream Out Loud because it's inspired by my friend Courtney Quinn. You may know her. You may follow her online at Color Me Courtney or Color Me Magic. But she always talks about dreaming out loud, which basically means like saying your dreams out loud. I'm going to have to play with her little squeaky toy. Sorry if that is annoying to you, but just imagine a cutie little chihuahua, only semi-vicious, begging you to play with her. You would definitely say yes. But yeah, it's inspired by Courtney's Dream Out Loud mantra, which she basically says you should put your dreams out into the universe and say them out loud. So let's read some of these dreams from my question sticker. Let's see. To work for Disney, meeting you at Disney World, becoming an elephant keeper at Animal Kingdom. That is so cute. I think Animal Kingdom also just had like a baby elephant be born or something recently, right? I kid you not, guys. Zoe, stop. I kid you not. I put the little like tassels. This is just a peek into my life with Zoe. I put the little tassel like trash into a tiny little trash can that I have in here, and she's on top of it, scratching the lid to get to the blanket tassels. Like, yeah, she's so silly. She's also so... Zoe, no tassels. No tassels. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. BRB. Zoe has entered the chat. Oh my god. Okay. She did not want to be on live. Okay, let's read through these dreams because I think she's getting a little restless. But becoming an elephant keeper is so cool, and I just know you're going to do that because that takes a lot of passion. Let's see, what else? New summer job, slay, okay, get that bag. To end my 4th semester of college on a high note and go back to Disney World someday. Oh, if you are in school, I know we're at that point where it's like right past spring break and you only have a couple of weeks left. You got this. Let's see, finishing grad school, better than me. I started grad school, but I did not finish. I didn't even last the first semester. So the fact that you are still in grad school is a win. Become a voice actress. Oh my gosh, I love that. Also, same. That is one of my dreams that I have started working on and I'm so excited about. Voice acting, doing all kinds of stuff. So we are in that dream together. Go us! Ew, we're like dream twins. Let's see. Currently, my dream is to do performing arts, but also go to Disney World. I've never been before. Oh my gosh. I love that for you. They have performing arts at Disney World. To start a Disney/a book account. Oh, let me know. I will follow you. I love Disney and I love books. And especially if you have a dream of like making any sort of social media content, do it. Please do it. It's not, I know it's easy to feel like, oh, things are oversaturated. No one's going to care, whatever. But no one is going to do things the way that you do things. And especially if it's social media, we could all use all kinds of new perspectives and different perspectives. So post that content. We want to see it. I'm telling you, we want to see it. Let's see. Graduating. Lots of graduating colleges. Lots of wanting to work at Disney. I get it. It's a very magical company. Trying to get a contracted teaching job. Oh my gosh, I love that for you. I also did want to be a teacher when I was in high school for a little bit. And teachers are so underrated and so just, people... We forget to value our teachers, especially like here, but I'm not going to get into that. You should love your teachers, and I'm so happy for you, and I know you're going to do a great job because if you want to be a teacher, it means you want to help people, and that's just so sweet. To get my anxiety back down to normal for me and finally get my migraines under control, oh my goodness. I am here for you. I sympathize with you for that. That is just seemingly a constant struggle that is going to happen when you have anxiety. You know, you have good days, you have bad days, and the migraines, I can only imagine. I feel like I keep turning this into me, but I'm just trying to do it to relate. But I did deal with migraines for a really long time as a kid, and I feel like that's never great. That's never fun to deal with. But I'm here for you. Let's see. I didn't see your post. Oh, I love that. A Disney creator and a singer for Disney World. Come on, Key. You can definitely do that, girl. Let's see. Finishing college, going back to Disneyland, and eventually visit all the Disneys. That would be so fun to do. Like, there is a Disney World tour. I've probably talked about it on the slide because I think about it way more than a normal person should. But there is a, like, tour that you can pay for. I don't know who you pay it to. Someone in Disney will take your money to put you on, like, a private jet and fly you to every Disney theme park in the world so you can visit them all on one trip. That's like my dream trip. That is my dream trip. Just getting flown around. And I'm pretty sure you get like VIP tours every time you're there. Don't ask me how much it is. I just know it's expensive. But that is a dream. Let's add that to the dream list. My ultimate dream is to work for a Disney art department. Oh, I love that. I really like that you can kind of do everything at Disney. You can be a singer. You can be an artist. You can be an Imagineer. You can work in the parks. You can do all kinds of stuff at Disney. Getting through the rest of this term, I want to move to Florida and become a Disney content creator. I love that for you. And we could use them. We all love Disney. It's so fun to be a part of a fandom. Let's see. Lots of Disney performers. I love that. That is such a fun job. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a princess in a Disney float. Like, I knew, spoiler alert, I knew that they were, like, people's jobs to dress up as princesses in the theme parks as a kid. And I thought that was the coolest job ever, and I wanted to do it. But at the time, I was even shorter than I am, which is way too short to be a Disney princess. And we didn't have Tiana yet. So my options were non-existent. But thank God for Tiana and for many more diverse princesses that we have now and more on the way. Please, I'm begging you, we need more. What else? To make it through the day. And you know what? Period. Sometimes it'd be like that. Sometimes your goal is to make it through the day, not even have a happy day, because that's too much pressure, right? Sometimes your goal is just like, let me take a shower today. And that's okay. And when you do it and when you achieve it, it's the same as achieving a goal you've been working on for months. Like, don't belittle it. Celebrate those little wins. They're so important. They build to the big ones. Oh, we support each other. Of course. Oh, I love it. Slay. Oh my god, Queen Novene! We were talking about voice acting. If you guys don't know, Queen Novene is the live announcer literal icon. Follow her on every social media at Queen Novene. She also does voiceover classes for anyone else in my dream little bank that wants to do voice acting or get into it. Step number 1 is take classes and go check hers out because I would literally... If Queen Novene told me to jump off a bridge, I would. In her live announcer voice, even better. So I completely trust her. I've taken one of her classes, and she's so great and so sweet and very passionate. So, yeah, that was my plug for you, Queen. Love you. You're so cute. Let's see. Going on with these dreams, to attend culinary school. I love cooking. Even though I can't do it professionally, I'm glad you love cooking. We need people in this world that love cooking because we have people like me who don't love cooking. Let's see. Start working with brands and become a universal theme park creator. Oh, how fun. How excited are we for like the 4th or 5th park? That's crazy. I'm so excited for that. To be just like you. Oh, that's very sweet. But I want you to be like you because... there's no one else like you in this world, and you should really, really embrace that. I had to learn that too, but once I did, things got so much better. Feeling good in my body, simple, but for me, really complicated right now. Don't make it smaller than it is. It's so important. It's an important thing to you, and it may seem small to other people, but it's important to you, and it's not small, and it's a big thing. And I love that you are excited about it. Ugh, body issues is a whole nother thing, and not something that I really want to talk about on live, but just know we can all be here for each other and you can find those good influences. Let's see. Actually pass my exam so I can finally become a teacher. Oh my gosh, there are so many teachers, so many voice actors, so many performers and singers in my little question box. I love that. Healing from this breakup. I want to give you a huge hug. That is something, that hurts so bad, and I feel for you. Work for Imagineering as an architect. I dream of dining at Club 33. Oh, Queen, you're just joining, but you missed it. Zoe has been a menace all night, and now she's doing the chihuahua thing and, like, biting me. You can see. Look at her. Look at her. She's so crazy. Oh, my gosh. But we are reading dreams from Instagram because I also feel like it's fun to hear other people's dreams. It kind of makes you more excited for your own dreams, or makes you maybe feel like your dreams aren't as, like, crazy as they seem. Because when you're in your head, you kind of, like, build it up. Zoe. Relax. Good puppy. She is insane. She's insane. Let's see. Become a character designer, to be self-employed, a photographer, and shoot a Disney wedding. Oh, I love that. Quit my job and be a stay-at-home mom. That's a slay. Somebody I follow just posted that they were in their stay-at-home mom era, and I love that for you. I love people chasing things that they are passionate about. Okay, I'm going to do a, what is that called when it's like quick fire round? The right word is not coming to me in this one, but let's just quick fire off the rest of these dreams. To be a member of a K-pop group, really close to making this a reality. I want to learn your choreography. Please tell me your group. Graduate high school. Come on, slay. Travel more, see the world. I would love to be a voice actor, but IDK, where to even start? Like I said, Queen of Beans classes. I have a goal to be better at doing things alone. Oh my gosh, that's an amazing goal. I feel like it's so easy to just like limit yourself because you don't want to do it alone. But it's also like when you do it, you suddenly have a new level of confidence. So you have to push yourself to get uncomfy. That is one of my, is it the one that I'm wearing now? No. But back to my little words bracelets, I also make them myself. And I have one that says uncomfy that kind of reminds me to like push myself to get uncomfortable and to do things because that's how you build confidence. To get pregnant. Love that for you. Want that for you. I want to stop being so scared of rides and try all the roller coasters I wanted to. That is so cute, and I totally believe in you. You can do that. Just watch a bunch of other people. They get off, they come on. Or they go on the ride, they come off the ride, and you'll do the same thing. Get a new job, become an Imagineer. Oh my gosh, there's so many Imagineers. Get a house and make it my own without caring what people say about the style. Yes. Do you think people thought it was a good idea when I was like, I'm going to paint all of my walls black? No. My mom probably was like, why? And I did it anyways, and I love it, and it makes me happy, and that's part of loving my house. So I love that for you. Go to Disneyland for the first time ever. Oh my gosh, I hope you get to do that. It's so magical and a bit different from Disney World if you've been to there. Start a travel vlog, as you should. I feel like the best part about making content or vlogs and things like that is that you can look back on them later on in life. Like I have a ton of now privated videos from my vlogs when I was in college or just early post-grad life. Zoe, relax. I know. You'll have all my attention in just a second. Literally just survived the work week period. Opened my own bookstore and bakery. Oh my god, that is so cute. My bestie and I used to talk about opening a bookstore, but it was like books/plants. And maybe that will still happen sometime in my life. I feel like that could just be a fun thing to do. Let's see. I want to create and become the me I know I am and happy in that feeling for myself. Oh, a self-love journey. You have got this. Anyone doing any kind of self-love journey or self-love healing, you have got this and you will feel so much better. Finding a remote job. I feel like that one's really popular. Dance, period. I feel like we should all be dancing more. I try to dance to myself on days where I'm feeling a little bit happier or like, I don't know, I just kind of sneak in a little bop here and there, you know what I mean? Save up to buy my own house. Oh my gosh, I love that. Find a remote job so I can homeschool my little man, finish a book and get a literary agent. Come on, writers in the house. More friends in the Disney community. Have a healthy, happy baby. Go to cosmetology school this year. Let's see, a couple more. Finish Disney race weekend next week and be happy. Move outside the United States. Network with other creators. Become more financially independent. Getting my PhD. I hope hearing all of this really just inspires you to make a big deal out of that dream you have. Whatever the dream is, make a big deal out of it and say it out loud and believe it and make your vision board and journal about it and read your books. Which, let's get into the books that I said I was going to recommend. Some books that have inspired me. I have some of them right here, and I have a couple that I actually don't have the physical copy of. Let's start with those first. The first one being Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes. I kind of explained earlier that I tend to lean towards nonfiction books that are more like biographies or books of essays. I love a book of essays. But Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes was one of the books that it was one of the first kind of self-helpery books that I read and kind of opened my eyes to this idea of like being on a self-love journey, because basically Shonda Rhimes talks about how there was a period in her life where she said no to everything. And this was like when she was Shonda Rhimes famous. You know, I think she had already been writing Grey's. I think this is when all of her shows were premiering on like every Thursday. And she was very famous. And so she got invited to a lot of events and things like that. And she kept saying no. But for 1 year, she decided that she was going to say yes. And this kind of documents her growth throughout that year. And it's so good. I actually put this on my TBR to reread because it's been a couple of years since I read it. But even to this day, it made such an impact on me and really just opened my eyes to being on a self-love journey and like things that you can do. And so I highly, highly, highly recommend this one. Another one that I recommend that I don't have the physical copy because I read on my Kindle was Gabrielle Union's We're Going to Need More Wine. She also has a second book out now. I think this is a book of essays. And this is very much more about like her life, but just reading people's lives and journeys is something I find very inspiring, because when I first started reading all these books, I was like in college, and the number one question is always like, what are you going to do with your life? So it's kind of nice to see like where people in pop culture, because I love pop culture. If you follow me, you probably also love pop culture and celebrities and things like that. But like seeing their lives evolve into what you know they become is just so inspiring to me. So if you are interested in these two books, I highly, highly recommend. They're also by Black women, and we love sharing their perspective. We need more of it. More back to the books. Oh wait, Key, can you give us some tips on being a Disney creator before you leave, like recording in the parks and not being so self-conscious? My number one tip for that is very simple, and I say this every time I have to create content in the parks. You are never going to see these people again. Like, you will never see these people again. Most of them are on vacation. They're probably going to think that you look cute and hype you up while you take your pictures. That happens to me a lot. I feel like people are very generally nice, or they just ignore you. So you'll never see them again. Don't let it stop you. Don't let these people that you are never going to see again stop you from taking the photo, even if you don't even want to post it, even just a selfie or whatever. Do it, girl. Live your life. Be in your own world. Okay. Books, physical books that have inspired me. On that same note as Shonda Rhimes, Gabrielle Union, we have Elaine Welteroth, which if you don't know who she is, she used to be the editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue, and I'm pretty sure she was the first Black woman editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue. I might have to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure she was, and I wanted to be a magazine writer when I was in college, so she was like goals for me, and reading her book is kind of along the same lines. I think it's also a book of essays that kind of just goes through her own self-love journey, and as Black women, that is so important to share. You Are a Badass. I used to read this book once a year. This is the first book that kind of explained manifesting and like spirituality in a way that I could actually absorb, because she's very like plain and simple. I like her humor. She's kind of jokey. She kind of reminds me of like the cool aunt who doesn't have kids and kind of just travels the world and hikes and things like that. That's her. That's Jen. And I liked this book so much that I read like her other spin-offs of it. So this book, if you are a creative, please read this book. I love the way that Elizabeth Gilbert talks about creativity, and I literally reread this book already this year. That's how much I love it. Olivia Rodrigo, I also happen to know, mentioned this book in one of her like What's in My Bag Vogue style videos. So it's Olivia Rodrigo approved as far as being creative. And another book of essays, she kind of just talks about the creative process and what it takes, and explains little like stories here and there, short stories here and there about creativity and literally creative living beyond fear. All of these like self-help books have such like intense titles, but the last one is The More or Less Definitive Guide to Self-Care. This one is great because it just gives you like tips and trips. Make your bed, manage your expectations, simple things that are all aimed at loving yourself a little bit more and a little bit better, and giving your, what I think this does well is just give you the words to explain the things that you're feeling. Because when I first like started my self-care, self-love, manifestation, confidence journey, I didn't have words for a lot of the feelings that I was feeling. And books like this that are very simple, just here are your tips. And I think this one's organized by the alphabet. Like, yeah. Self-care A to Z. Little things like this that just give you tips and feelings and words to describe how you're feeling and words to describe the things you want to feel are so, so, so helpful, especially if you've never even given this type of stuff thought. And with that, it's been about an hour. I am so glad. Oh, I'm so glad you guys are loving this live. Iris, go full force. I believe in you. You absolutely, absolutely have this. Key will pick up the Shonda Rhimes book. Oh, slay. We can read it together because I think I'm going to start it again here soon. So I'll have to give you my bookly updates on it. But I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. This was so fun and such a little bit of a switch up from the crafting and the excitement of Melissa Live, which she will be back. Don't you worry. But we just know I'm here for you. You can follow me on Instagram or TikTok. I'm Melissa Black if you want to stay connected. And if not, I'll see you right back here next Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Zoe's